I won an award. I placed the crystal trophy engraved with National New Designer of the Year on the kitchen island, my voice still brimming with unbridled joy. Agnes was busy wiping glasses, the foam on her fingertips never pausing. What award? Another one of those no-name small competitions? She finally looked up, her gaze sweeping over the trophy as if it were a worthless trinket. Elsie, how many times have I told you not to waste your time on these useless things? Wouldn't a stable secretarial job be better? This is the National New Designer Award in the UK design industry. I couldn't help raising my voice. There's a cash prize, and 3 well-known studios have contacted me to discuss cooperation. A cough came from the living room. Percival poked his head out from behind the newspaper, his brows furrowed into a tight knot. What are you yelling about? Can design put food on the table? Your cousin Maud from your uncle's family just got promoted to department manager last week, and her monthly salary is 3 times yours. That's real achievement. I clenched my fists, the sharp edges of the trophy digging into my palms. He'd been saying this for 3 years, ever since I decided to study design. Well, if it isn't our great designer? The sound of high heels clicking on the floor echoed from the doorway. Maud walked in carrying a limited edition bag, her eyes landing on the trophy with a sneer. You can buy 2 of these crystal cups online for £50, and they even engrave words on them. You really know how to show off. Maud, what do you know? This is an officially certified award. I retorted. I don't know anything about design, but I know how to make money. She walked over to the island and deliberately bumped into me. The water glass in my hand shook, spilling water on the trophy base. Unlike someone who spends the family's money on frivolous pursuits and only comes back with a lousy cup to show off. Agnes put down the rag. Instead of scolding Maud, she glared at me. Look how clumsy you are. Hurry up and wipe it clean. Don't get Maud's clothes dirty, her dress is extremely expensive. I gritted my teeth and squatted down, dabbing the water stains on the trophy with a tissue. My ears were filled with Maud's boasting. I bought a new car last week, a Mini Cooper. The color is absolutely stunning. I'll drive it for you to see someday. Oh, and Uncle Samuel said he's taking the whole family to France for vacation next week. Flights and hotels are all booked. Percival's eyes lit up. Your dad is really capable, unlike me, who struggles to make ends meet every day. Uncle Percival, don't say that. Maud took Percival's arm, her tone overly affectionate. I'll take care of you from now on. I'll buy you good wine. By the way, where's Aunt Gwendolyn? I need to talk to her about something. She's upstairs, said she's looking for that cashmere sweater you wore last year. Percival's voice softened considerably, and he even pointed toward the staircase. Go on up, she's in your cousin's room. My heart skipped a beat. Gwendolyn was my uncle's wife, Maud's mother. Why would she be in my brother's room? My brother moved to London half a year ago, and his room had been empty ever since. I'm going to get some fruit. I excused myself and quietly walked toward the staircase. Just as I reached the second-floor landing, I heard Gwendolyn's voice, tinged with a coquettishness I'd never heard before. Keep your voice down. What if Elsie finds out? So what if she finds out? It was Percival's voice. Agnes is such a blockhead, she'll never suspect a thing. Besides, Samuel is too busy making money to pay attention to you. My blood ran cold, and the fruit plate in my hand almost slipped to the floor. I couldn't believe my ears. My father and my aunt? How could they have such a relationship? We still need to be careful. Gwendolyn sighed. Maud has been getting more and more sensitive lately. She asked me yesterday why I come to your house so often. By the way, don't keep belittling Elsie for her award. What if she really makes something of herself someday? Make something of herself? Percival scoffed. What future can a girl have in design? I'd rather she be like Maud, get a good job and marry a rich man. Besides, so what if I belittle her? I'm her father, she has to listen to me. You're right, Gwendolyn agreed. Maud is much more sensible than her. Her promotion this time was all thanks to me pulling strings for her. Elsie is just too stubborn, she won't stop until she hits a wall. I couldn't listen anymore. I turned around and hurried back to the kitchen, my heart pounding wildly. Maud was still boasting about her new car to Agnes, who looked on with envy, completely oblivious to how pale my face was. Elsie, what are you spacing out for? Hurry up and wash the fruit. Agnes pushed me, and the apple in my hand fell to the floor, rolling over to Maud's feet. Maud deliberately stepped on it, crushing the apple into a pulp. Juice splashed onto my jeans. Oops, sorry, I didn't see it. But you really should replace these jeans, they're so faded. Unlike me, I only wear my clothes for one season. Maud. I looked up suddenly, anger blazing in my eyes. What's wrong? Did I say something untrue? She raised an eyebrow at me. If you're so capable, why don't you buy new clothes? Stop dressing like a beggar. Oh, right, you got a cash prize for that design award, didn't you? Is it enough to buy a dress like mine? Maud, don't talk to Elsie like that. Percival walked in, but instead of defending me, he smiled at Maud. Her little cash prize is probably only enough to buy a pair of shoes. Elsie, don't be angry, Maud is just straightforward. Agnes chipped in to comfort me too. Yes, Elsie, your cousin is just messing with you. Besides, she has a point. You really should save that prize money for future job hunting. Looking at the three of them, I felt a surge of nausea. My own father, my mother, and my cousin, they were all ganging up to trample on my pride. And my father was having an affair with my aunt. I can spend my prize money however I want. I picked up the trophy from the island and turned toward the door. Where are you going? Percival called out to me. None of your business. I pulled open the door without looking back. The cold wind rushed in, making me shiver, but it also cleared my head. I wandered aimlessly down the street, the trophy heavy in my hand, but all the joy I'd felt earlier was gone. My phone rang, it was the studio, asking if I could come in tomorrow to discuss cooperation. Yes. I took a deep breath, suppressing the grievance in my heart. I wouldn't let them defeat me. I was going to prove to them that my choice was right. The next day, I dressed up specially, putting on a simple white dress and light makeup. As soon as I walked out of the apartment building, I saw Maud leaning against her new car, smoking a cigarette. Well, who are you dressing up for so formally? She blew a smoke ring, her eyes sweeping up and down me. Don't tell me you're going to meet those people from the studio? Save your breath. They're probably only giving you a chance out of pity. What I do has nothing to do with you. I walked around her, trying to leave directly. But she stepped forward to block me. How can it have nothing to do with me? If you make a fool of yourself, you'll bring shame to the whole family. Oh, and my mom said the whole family is having dinner together tonight, you have to come. Dad booked a fancy restaurant specially. I'm not going. I refused without hesitation. How dare you not go? Maud's face darkened. Dad said if you don't come, you're no longer part of this family. Besides, my mom will be there, don't you want to see her? Her words were clearly provocative, and I knew she was doing it on purpose. But I was also curious to see how Gwendolyn would act around Agnes and me at the dinner table. Fine, I'll go. I said coldly. Maud smiled triumphantly. That's more like it. Remember, don't say anything out of line tonight, or you'll regret it. I ignored her and walked straight to the subway station. The meeting with the studio went smoothly, They were very impressed with my design philosophy and even offered me a long-term contract. As I walked out of the studio, my mood lifted considerably, as if I could see a bright future ahead. The restaurant that night was indeed luxurious, decorated resplendently. Samuel sat at the head of the table, his expression grim. Gwendolyn sat beside him, wearing a bright red dress, looking glamorous. Percival and Agnes sat opposite them. Agnes was wearing a faded shirt, looking completely out of place. "Elsie's here. Come sit." Gwendolyn waved at me enthusiastically, as if nothing had happened between us. I sat down next to Agnes, saying nothing. "Elsie, I heard you won an award yesterday." Samuel suddenly spoke up, his gaze falling on me with a hint of scrutiny. "What kind of award is it?" Before I could answer, Maud cut in. "Dad, it's just a small award that no one's ever heard of." She's acting like it's a big deal. Unlike me, the company held a celebration party when I got promoted. It's the National New Designer Award. I looked up at Samuel. It's officially certified, and 3 well-known studios have contacted me to discuss cooperation. Samuel nodded. "That's impressive, you have real talent. Unlike some people who only rely on their family." His gaze flicked to Maud, whose face turned pale instantly. Gwendolyn quickly tried to smooth things over. "Samuel, how can you say that about Maud? Her promotion wasn't easy." "Elsie, don't mind him, your uncle is just straightforward." "I don't mind," I said flatly. During the meal, Gwendolyn kept picking food for Percival, the ambiguity in her eyes impossible to hide. Agnes sat beside them, her head bowed, picking at her food silently, her eyes red with tears. "Agnes, why aren't you eating?" Gwendolyn hypocritically picked a piece of steak for Agnes. "The steak here is delicious, you should eat more." Agnes forced a smile. "Thank you, sister-in-law. I'm not very hungry." "How can you not be hungry? Is Percival not taking good care of you?" Gwendolyn looked at Percival, her tone laced with feigned reproach. "Percival, you should take better care of Agnes. It can't be easy for her, being at home alone all day." Percival smiled awkwardly. "I know, sister-in-law." Maud grew impatient watching this. "Mom, why are you meddling so much? Let's just eat." She picked up her knife and fork, cutting her steak deliberately hard, making a harsh scraping sound. Halfway through the meal, Percival's phone rang. He glanced at the screen and got up, heading for the restroom. I followed him. I knew it must be a message from Gwendolyn. Outside the restroom, I heard Percival's voice as expected. "Darling, don't worry. I'll come find you after dinner. Agnes is so oblivious, she'll never suspect a thing." I pushed open the door, staring at him coldly. "How long do you plan to keep this a secret?" Percival was startled, and his phone slipped from his hand. "Elsie? What are you doing here?" "If I hadn't come here, I would have never known about your dirty little secret with my aunt." I picked up his phone. The screen still displayed his text messages with Gwendolyn, full of obscene love notes. "Give me back my phone." Percival tried to grab it from me. "Why should I?" I stepped back. "How can you do this to Mom? She works so hard for this family every day, and you're out fooling around with another woman. This is grown-up business, stay out of it." Percival's face turned ferocious. "I warn you, don't say a word about this, or I'll never forgive you. I'll say whatever I want." I turned around and walked back to the restaurant, with Percival chasing after me. When we returned to the restaurant, everyone's eyes turned to us. I held up the phone, looking at Gwendolyn. "Aunt Gwendolyn, do you want me to read your text messages with my dad out loud for everyone to hear?" Gwendolyn's face turned as white as a sheet. Samuel's eyes turned icy. "Gwendolyn, is what she's saying true?" "No, Samuel, don't listen to her lies. Gwendolyn hastily explained. Elsie is framing me on purpose, she's just jealous that Maud is more successful than her. Framing you? I sneered. Then explain why I caught you making out with my dad in my brother's room? Explain why you sent him all those disgusting text messages. Agnes stood up suddenly, tears streaming down her face. Percival, is what she's saying true? Did you really do this with my sister-in-law? Agnes, don't listen to her, she's lying. Percival hastily defended himself. Lying? I opened the text messages on the phone. See for yourself. Is this your phone? Are these your text messages with my aunt? Samuel took the phone and glanced at it, his face turning livid. He stood up abruptly and punched Percival in the face. You bastard! I treated you like my own brother, and you betrayed me like this. Percival fell to the floor, nose bleeding. Samuel, let me explain. Explain what? Explain your affair with my wife? Samuel tried to hit him again, but was stopped by the waiters nearby. Maud screamed. Dad! Stop hitting him. She turned to me, her eyes filled with hatred. It's all your fault. You're the one who ruined everything. I'll never forgive you. Forgive me? I looked at her. You're the ones who bullied me first. You belittled my achievements, picked on me, and now this happened. Is it all my fault? Elsie, that's enough. Agnes walked over, taking my hand. Let's go home. Mom, are you still defending him? I looked at Agnes, my heart aching. Agnes shook her head, tears flowing even more heavily. I've known about it for a long time. Everyone was stunned, including Percival. I've known about it for a long time. Agnes looked at Percival, her voice calm yet terrifying. 3 months ago, I found a lipstick in your pocket that wasn't mine. I saw your text messages on your phone. I thought you'd come to your senses. I thought you still cared about this family, but I was wrong. Agnes, I'm sorry. Percival tried to stand up, but Samuel held him back. What good is sorry? Agnes wiped her tears, her eyes turning firm. Percival, I want a divorce. A divorce? Percival couldn't believe his ears. Agnes, don't be impulsive. We've been together for so many years, how can you just ask for a divorce like that? Years together? Agnes scoffed. The moment you got together with Gwendolyn, our relationship was over. Gwendolyn collapsed into her chair, her face ashen. Maud watched the chaos unfold, not knowing what to do, and could only cry uncontrollably. Elsie, let's go. Agnes pulled me along, turning around and walking out of the restaurant. Outside the restaurant, the evening breeze blew. Agnes took a deep breath. Elsie, I'm sorry I never supported you properly before. If you love design, keep doing it, Mom believes you'll be successful. I looked at Agnes, tears welling up in my eyes. Mom. I was too weak before, always trying to hold this family together, but I ignored your feelings. Agnes squeezed my hand tightly. From now on, it's just us two. We'll live well, and we'll never have to put up with their nonsense again. I nodded, the grievance in my heart finally finding an outlet. The trophy felt heavy in my hand again, but this time, it wasn't from sorrow, it was from responsibility. I was going to work hard, not just to prove those who belittled me wrong, but also to give Mom a better life. A few days later, I signed a long-term contract with the studio and started my career as a designer. Word of Percival and Gwendolyn's affair spread throughout the family, and they became the laughingstock of everyone. Samuel divorced Gwendolyn, and Maud, unable to hold her head up at work because of the scandal, eventually resigned. One day, Maud came to see me. She had lost a lot of weight, and the arrogance was gone from her eyes. Elsie, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have picked on you or belittled your achievements. I looked at her, feeling no hatred anymore, only a touch of regret. Let the past stay in the past. Live a good life from now on, and don't be like you used to be. Maud nodded and walked away. I knew our relationship would never be the same again, but that no longer mattered. My designs became more and more popular, and before long, I founded my own design studio. On the opening day, Agnes came. She looked at me, pride shining in her eyes. Elsie, you did it. Mom, I couldn't have done it without you. I hugged her. From now on, we'll only get better and better. Sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the studio, warm and bright. I knew those dark days were behind me. On the road ahead, I would carry Mom's hopes and my own dreams, moving forward steadily. Those who once belittled me, those who once hurt me, they had all become stepping stones on my path, making me stronger and braver than ever before.